Hot hatches, the gateway between sensible compact city car and an outright sportster. And it's fair to say, the breed has evolved steadily over recent years. And this, the 2020 Mercedes-AMG A35, is the current king of the hill. That is, until the new A45 Hyperhatch arrives. Now, things have moved on from the early days of hot hatch legends like the Mark I Volkswagen Golf GTI. Back then, power didn't even dip into triple digits, whereas here we have a 300 horsepower, turbocharged all-wheel drive, weaponised shopping trolley in bright yellow. And so, performance has been dialed up, and as you can probably tell, the fun has been dialed up. But then, so has the price. The AMG A35 starts from $69,300 before options and on-road costs. Throw in the Aero kit, which I love, a bit of extra tech and those cool 19-inch wheels, and it tips the car into the luxury car tax threshold, which means you're going to be spending over $80,000 in no time. Now that's pretty spendy, especially when you consider the Mercedes-Benz A-Class starts from just under $44,000. Now, the A35 is cool, and it is fast, and it is very good. But is there an option for you if you want a hot hatch with the rocket ship stats, but without the moon landing budget? Well, yes, and it might not be what you think. This is the Mini Clubman John Cooper Works. Yep, a mini hot hatch wagon. Now the Clubman isn't new. This model launched back in 2014. But for 2020, the JCW model has received a significant upgrade to its engine. How significant? 30% increase in power and a 40% increase in torque. Pretty significant. And that power increase puts it right up in the upper echelons of hot hatch wagon territory, and certainly worthy of a closer look. All right, I know, an AMG versus a Mini is not really a standard comparison, especially when you consider the JCW starts at $57,900 before options and on-road costs. But take a listen to these specs and it might just change your mind. Both cars feature a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine with 225 kilowatts or 300 horsepower apiece. The Mercedes has 400 newton metres to the Mini's 450. The 8-speed automatic transmission over here is played by a 7-speed dual clutch in the Mercedes, which does give it the advantage by 0.2, 0 to 100 being 4.7 seconds. Now, they are both all-wheel drive with a front drive bias, but the Mini does have a front locking diff. And despite the 6-door wagon-style body, both cars have a near identical footprint, with cargo volumes actually being about line ball. But perhaps the most important and telling feature here is that the Mini is 50 kilograms lighter, giving it a power-to-weight ratio advantage. Sounds like we've got an interesting battle on our hands. To put these micro machines to the test, we've come to Bryant Park Hill Climb Track about 90 minutes east of Melbourne. The circuit, affectionately known as Haunted Hills, is approximately 1.4 kilometres long, with plenty of bends and elevation changes. It's the perfect environment for these highly strung hot hatches. Now, as soon as you step into the AMG, you can see where much of that price difference has gone. The twin LED screens and even a touch screen here make this feel like the shuttle from the Enterprise. The attention to detail from the heater vents and lighting and all of the switchgear is second to none. The AMG feels like it was born to be on a track like this. There's a stack of power and the gear changes are fast and sharp. Now, I've kept traction control on, but it does let you push very hard, and it seems to know what I'm trying to do. The sport seats hold you in nicely, and I can feel I get a bit quicker each lap as I start to understand the car even more. Now, when you drive a Mini, you drive a Mini. The round dials and the huge round centre gauge mean that this car is like nothing else. But it's what you choose, and if a bit of style kitsch isn't your thing, then I won't even mention the Union Jack taillights. Hitting the start switch is never not cool though, and we won't be needing Gary the economy fish. Sport mode it is. The Mini is certainly quick and tips in really well. You can feel the rear rotate under heavy braking, and it is a lot of fun. Now, I'm not quite as snug as in the Mercedes, and I can feel the gearbox and traction control are perhaps limiting me from being as fast as possible. But that noise, now the AMG sounds aggressive. This just sounds fantastic. But rather than measure outright performance in tenths, let's try something a little more interesting. A game of cat and mouse. Our mouse will be played by the AMG A35, which will get a head start over our JCW Cat. Now here we'll be able to see where the AMG can pull ahead and perhaps where the Mini might be able to gain some ground. And I've got to say, even I'm curious about what's going to happen. Now, I don't actually know what's going to happen here. They're both pretty good on track in different ways, and while the Mercedes is arguably more focused, the lighter weight might actually give me a chance. But I don't know, and I guess we'll find out. Okay, well, my traction control is already kicking in, and while I can see the Merc down there, I don't really know if I'm going to be picking up anything on him. Oh, see, I reckon this on the straights, see, it's through here, the twistiest part of the track where the Mercedes is starting to pull away, I think. But, I'll tell you what, I'm not losing any ground on him. And I reckon through here, I reckon I'm actually picking him up on the straights there. I think I'm trying pretty bloody hard, I can assure you. Regardless, I think the winner here today is fun. Here we go. Off the brakes, over the crest. Tell you what, if you haven't driven this track, that is one scary section. Where I can feel that this thing is picking up on him is through the straights. There's definitely chance where I'm reeling him in when this car gets to stretch its legs. This gearbox is really where this car is let down. That DCT in the Merc is a really, really nice little unit. Whereas, here we go. So, come on Mini, go, go, go. This is where I get him. Look at that, reeling him in, reeling him in. Oh dear. Well, we have had a lot of fun here today, but we've also seen why the AMG A35 is the current reigning hot hatch champion. From that amazing tech and fantastic interior through to that thoroughly sorted engine and driveline, it really is an excellent car. And in terms of what we've been doing here today, is certainly the more focused hot hatch. But the JCW Mini really gave it a run for its money, particularly on the straights out here where the added torque and lighter weight really came into play. Now the Mini may not have the technical sophistication of the Mercedes, it's much more affordable than the Mercedes as well, and provides a very potent and formidable package when it comes to performance in the hot hatch-y, wagon-y segment. The little Mini Clubman John Cooper works. For more information about the Mercedes-AMG A35 or Mini Clubman John Cooper Works, check out all the information on caradvice.com. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all our new videos. Plus, if you've got a question or suggestion, you can hit us up in the comments below.